Hi friends. So I'm making dough for I don't know what yet, bread or something, but I always make it ahead. I wanted to show you what it looks like as soon as I mix it. Maybe next time I'll do a video about mixing the dough when you first start. So I have a certain recipe that I go by, and I usually always use that same one. But this is what it looks like right when I get done stirring it all up and mixing it together. It looks like a big sticky mess. Like if I was to touch this, it would stick all over my hands, and I don't want to do that right now. However, I'm going to go through each of the stretch and folds because you need to do 2 or 3 sets. And so what it is you do this, you mix it up, put a towel, like a tea towel on top, and set your timer for 30 minutes. Just let it sit there. So it's absorbing the water, all the flour and the starter is absorbing the water, and it's gonna sit there for 30 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, we will come back and we'll do some stretch and folds and then put this back on for 30 more minutes. And so that's one round. So we're gonna do 2 or 3 of those. I don't know, I go by feel, and I'll explain it more as we go. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but that's what we'll do. So this has 30 minutes to sit. We'll come back, we'll do some stretch and folds, and we'll do that several times. Okay, see you soon. Okay, we're back. It's just about been 30 minutes. We're down to seconds on our timer. I just used one of these little kitchen timers. That's 30 minutes. I put 30 on there, and that's what I use. It has a cute little magnet on it. So it goes right on the oven and stays there. But anyway, so here's our dough. This is a sticky mess and we're gonna fold it. And the reason why we're gonna stretch and fold it is because that's what builds up the gluten and the strength, so that when you bake it, it has the strength to hold together while it rises. I think that's why. But anyway, it does build the gluten the more that you do the stretch and folds. However, it's so sticky that a good tip that I learned is to have wet fingers. So you could use oil or you could use water. I always just use water. Okay, we'll keep that going. And I don't know if you can see it here very well, but what you do is you pick up one side and you just fold it on top. And you pick up one side. So we're rotating the bowl on all 4 sides. I know it's a circle, but you know what I mean. So like that, and then it starts getting sticky. I put my hands under the water just a little bit. Yes, it does make a little bit more moisture on the bread, but it's fine. It always ends up fine. So I think that was 3. And then we'll do number 4. And I need more water, a little bit. It's just a tiny little bit of water. And then what I like to do is I do some slap and folds only for the first round because it's kind of aggressive. So you don't want to break the gluten. So each time you do this, like each round after 30 minutes, it's getting stronger, like every single time. And that's a slap and fold. You basically just get to slap the shit out of it and fold it. But I only do that on this first one, so it builds up some good strength. So what I'm doing is I'm making it just, I'm letting gravity let it get bigger, and then slap it down, fold it over. Do that on all 4 sides. Pick it up. I let gravity make it bigger, and then slap it down and then one more, and then you'll feel it. Like it was a sticky mess and it was a blob, and now it has structure. So now it's like really holding together. It wants to make itself a ball. All right, so we're gonna let it. So I did all four sides. I did stretch and folds, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did a round of slap and fold, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm just gonna shape it into a kind of a ball. Just a little, I like to just let it know what I want. So I want it to be a nice, perfect little ball. So I try to shape it into that. And then it's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. So there it is. You can see now it's like a ball. Remember how it was all shaggy and gross looking? It's looking better. So then we're gonna cover it for 30 minutes. That was round 1. We'll be back. All right, we're ready for round 2. So you can see that it kind of kept its shape. It did spread out a little bit, so it relaxed, and that's what you want. So I'm gonna turn the water on, get my fingers wet just a little. It's not a lot. Like my hands aren't dripping wet. They're just a little bit so that the dough doesn't stick. And this time we're just gonna stretch. So you pull it up and then fold it onto itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all 4 sides. Stretch, fold. It is still sticky, but it's gonna be sticky. So stretch. Oh, and then it just picks right up. But anyway, I'm not slapping it down. I'm just setting it down. So we're done with the slaps because it's too aggressive to keep doing it. You'll end up breaking your gluten strands, and you don't want to do that. You want to strengthen them. So I'm not gonna break it. Okay, and the one last one that way. And you could just do 4. I always just feel it. Like if it's real hardened up, then I stop. But if it's not, then I keep going, and I go one direction for 4, and then I go the other direction for 4. And then I put it back away. So it looks like a slap and fold, but I'm not. I'm just placing. It's like a place and fold. Okay, last one. Place. And then fold it over. And now I'm gonna make it into a ball. And it's way stronger even than just last round. And you can't see that. You have to feel it. So when you do it, you'll feel it. So I'm just tucking. I'm like all the way around. Sound effects help. Just so you know. Okay, now we got, it's round. That's what we want. I'm gonna rinse my hands off because yuck. Okay. And we're gonna put this back on, and we'll do one more round in 30 minutes. You can wait 30 minutes, or you could wait 20 minutes, whatever you have time for. We don't have a whole lot going on today, so 30 minutes is fine. But if I was in a rush, I would do 20-minute increments, and that's perfectly fine. It just, the 30 is just a little bit more. So here we go. Timer. See you soon. Okay, we're back for round 3. Here we go. All right. So it's a little less sticky, but I still use the water because it is still a little sticky. So we're gonna do our last set. We're only gonna do 3 for this guy because feels good and strong already. So we're just gonna finish this out with the 4 sides of stretch and folds. And no slap and folds anymore, just the first time. And then, so if I wanted to bake with it as soon as I could, I would, when I'm done with this, I would cover it and leave it on the counter for as many hours as it takes for it to get all puffy. It rises a whole lot. And once it's, I don't know the math on it, but once it's doubled maybe, I don't know, once it gets a lot bigger, and it's jiggly, and when you press it, it springs, then it's ready, and you can do it. It's, I don't know, it depends on the temperature of your house. It depends on the temperature of the dough when you started, how many hours it's gonna take. Usually in our house, because it stays like, I think right now it's 70, it says 73 in here. So it usually takes like 5 to 8 hours, I think. But if I wanted to bake something in that amount of time, then I would leave it out. I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap, and I'm going to toss it in the fridge until probably tomorrow. Unless I run out of time tomorrow, then I'll leave it for the next day. I really try not to leave it in the fridge more than 2 days, because then it gets overproofed and you just never know what it's gonna do. So, all right, I shaped it into the round. I'm gonna get some plastic wrap, put it on there. But you know what? The first thing I'm gonna do is not throw it in the fridge. I'm gonna leave it on the counter for a half hour or an hour first, just to let it have that rest. Then I will cover it with the plastic wrap, and I'll put it in the fridge until tomorrow. So it's gonna stay just like this for another half hour, and then it's going in the fridge overnight. And then I'll start thinking about what I wanna make with it. So this is just the base dough. You can go anywhere you want from here. Although if I wanted to add inclusions like cheese and stuff like that, I would have added that in this last stretch and fold. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll probably just make bread, or I don't know. I don't know yet. So we're gonna let it rest, and it's going in the fridge. All right, happy baking, guys. See you soon.